everybody, and welcome to another episode of Muzz and the Chefs. How the hell did we end up here?
We got
episode number 5.
We got theme music.
We have.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm a talented guy.
Written and recorded by Murray Byfield.
Yes. It's copywritten too, so don't try and steal it.
Okay.
But your mic could probably come up a bit, actually, to be honest with you.
Right.
So, anyway.
Are you going to do your fact checking that nobody cares about? We're going to start with that from last week.
Yes.
Lunar. And before we start, yes, he is dead. I said he was dead. You said he wasn't. He's dead.
Yeah, 2012, apparently.
Mr. Armstrong.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong, passed away in 2012, August 2012, apparently.
Maybe he didn't pass away. Maybe the aliens came and took him.
They
home.
might have taken him. Yes, so a couple of things was remember I was talking about the radiation belt, you know,
Yep.
they said they wouldn't survive.
But they went at night time.
Yeah, they went at night time. Yeah, so that's called the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yeah. Would it have fried them?
Oh, if they didn't have protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were all wearing condoms, were they? Sorry, go ahead with your fact checking. I'll be quiet, I promise.
Okay, yeah, and Buzz Aldrin is still alive. I did check that. And didn't that cause quite the stir on my Facebook
yes,
the other
it
day?
did.
Oh my God.
Murray put up a little
Yeah.
feed going, an 8-year-old talking to Buzz Aldrin, saying that she asked the question if they really went to the moon. And in this tiny little clip, he goes, oh, well, it didn't happen. We never went. And Murray put up the tiny little grab, and it caused an absolute shitstorm of replies. So I just laughed.
It did. Everyone got very upset. And as I said on that, when you, I always find when you challenge people's beliefs, it's actually somebody else wrote right down the bottom, something like, or something along the lines of, the only way you could know if you were actually there.
Yeah.
And it's true. If you're not there, how would you know? But anyway, it's true. Can't lie anything like that.
Haven't they accidentally erased all the footage?
Well, I don't know. I just saw something there just before when I was doing fact checking that that they're restoring a lot of the footage that they've got left. I don't know, but I mean, you got to consider there was more than one mission, obviously. So apparently, I did know it was 40,000 or 400,000 people worked on the Apollo missions. Apparently, 400,000 people did. That's probably collectively. That's probably not the first one.
So one guy would have been in charge of like one nut.
You're a fucking nut. Yeah, so that's quite a substantial amount of people.
That is.
And I remember you talking about the second moon.
Yes.
Satellite. It's actually called Cruina.
So I was right.
And it has a really, really big orbit. I'll show just what I googled there before. So Cruina is a Q-type Aten asteroid in orbit around the Sun in a 1-on-1 orbital resonance with the Earth, making it a co-orbital object. Is an asteroid that relative to Earth orbits the Sun in a bean-shaped orbit that effectively describes a horseshoe and that can change into a quasi-satellite orbit.
Wow, do you want to say that again?
No. And the other thing I was talking about there was the cameras.
Yes.
So they did, depending on the mission, they did have different cameras. Some were handheld. Apparently the first mission were handheld, but later on they did have the mounted cameras to their suits, and they're all film cameras. Yeah. But they were automatics. So they just automatically click on after they do the
I have an automatic car, but I still have to be there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So yeah. It would just it was sort of like a automatic rifle, I suppose. You'd fire it and then just fly.
Let's not go back down the guns.
Yes, let's go down that road again.
No.
Anyway, so I think that was all for this week. I could go on, but I'm not going to.
No.
So, right.
You're going to tell everybody where to go and how to subscribe and do all that sort of thing?
Yes, of course, yes. So, if you're first time listening to the podcast, please subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up or a like there. Also, if you feel the need, and we encourage this, please leave a comment down below. And we really should get a Facebook page happening for this as well. It might be a way to con some more people into listening.
We'll talk to the tech guru.
Yeah. So
that's Murray.
So yeah. Okay, topic this week is Gavin's, and it is...
So, this, as we've stated before, the second person doesn't know what the topic's going to be. So this week is my topic, and Murray has no idea what I'm about to say.
Nope.
So we're going to talk about Australians' obsession with sport and sporting heroes.
Oh, for God's sake. Could you have picked a more boring subject for me?
No, because...
And one I know nothing about.
Oh, but you've got strong opinions about it.
Okay.
So...
Mr. Squeaky. I'm just removing Mr. Squeaky. Yep.
We've got everything from footballers, cricketers, Australians of the Year.
This is shit. Who did you come up with this?
Yes, I did.
This is crap.
Because I thought, oh, no, it's not. It's quite relevant because the Australians love their sport. It's huge.
They do. Yeah.
It's the biggest. It's probably one of the biggest sporting nations I know.
Yeah.
And you're so not sporty.
Me? No, yeah. I'm very blasé about the whole thing.
So,
I agree.
What sport do you like, and what's your opinion on Australians in their mad, crazed lust for sport?
As a whole, I think it's a good thing. I think it's good. I don't think it's all sport. Hang on, I'm just going to grab my drink. We're so professional.
No, it's seamless.
It's not all sports that I don't like. I just think there's certain sports that I don't like.
Yeah,
mainly rugby league, actually.
Is that
that probably goes back to other issues.
Is that family issues, daddy issues, or is it because of the personalities involved in that sport?
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
So, who'd be the most famous rugby league player in Australian history?
History?
In all of the Australian game.
Rugby league?
Yeah.
Ever.
Come on.
Ever up until this point?
Ever up until this point.
Look, I don't know. I don't. Wally Lewis? I don't know.
Wally Lewis.
Yeah, maybe.
So he hasn't gotten any trouble, has he?
Oh, you're going down this road, are you? Okay.
Because there's not one of your sporting teams that hasn't.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway.
Oh, I've got examples.
I'm sure you have. I don't. This is a topic I know fuck all about, and you chose this.
No, it's not just the topic.
It's my opinion on said topic.
Yeah, and it's also how much people are involved and invested in this. People paint their houses like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
it's fucking sad. It really is.
See, you do have an opinion. It's not just. It's the whole love of all sports that Australians seem to be nuts for.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can you explain it? Is there any insight into the psyche of the Australians?
I have nothing to offer you on this topic in terms of that. I have no idea why Australians are so sports fixated. We seem to be very much that way. I can't tell you why. Did you ask me a question there before?
I did.
Okay, so the question is sports that I like.
Yeah.
What I like to watch or what I like to play? I like to do.
Both.
Well, when I was younger and fitter, I used to do martial arts and stuff like that. So I guess that's a sport.
Is there? So your idol would have been, say, Bruce Lee.
No, I didn't really have any idols.
So what got you into martial arts? So you just don't fall into things like this.
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't do it for all my childhood or anything like that. I actually did it in my young adulthood more than anything. Probably that was
a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, 28 years ago.
A physical specimen sitting across me.
I don't know. I think it partially at the time I was not very healthy. Yeah. Like not that I was being unhealthy deliberately, but I wasn't very healthy at the time. I had a pretty bad virus and stuff, so it knocked me around. So I did something which would probably, I don't know, help my core a bit, if you know what I mean. So get fit in the core and martial arts.
Somebody must have encouraged you. You didn't just rock up by yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yep.
In your pajamas?
Well,
did you wear the pajamas?
Later. But I also did Japanese sword as well. So I did a little bit of both. Did karate and a bit of...
Isn't it karate?
Karate. And I did samurai sword as well.
Okay.
Iaido and kenjutsu.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did a bit of that as well.
Which is huge now because of the mixed martial arts. The UFC, which is a worldwide phenomenon,
I've never watched
massive. You've never watched one?
No. Yep.
You've never watched a single fight?
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. I don't have any desire to.
Okay. If there was a huge...
It's on Foxtel, isn't it?
I've no idea. But isn't there an Australian guy who's
probably
nearly world champion or something? Got injured the last fight. See, Conor McGregor, for me, he's great. He was brilliant. I'd never watched UFC.
What are you talking about?
Conor McGregor was this world champion. He was a double world champion in 2 different weights, and then he decided he'd be a boxer.
Okay, right.
And he tried to box Floyd Mayweather, and got his ass handed to him in about the 8th or 10th. Oh, he did well, but he made about 85 million quid. The money is insane.
Yeah.
Money in sport, especially in this country, is
I know.
compared to footballers, soccer players worldwide, nothing. You got nothing.
Yeah, no, shit with that.
So your highest paid player over here in what your two biggest games would be rugby league and AFL?
League, football games,
Yeah.
like footy type of games. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I reckon rugby league would be more. I reckon.
So you reckon there's guys on like $1 million a season,
Mm.
and I think that's huge.
Mm.
There's a footballer called Neymar who plays for PSG in France, and he makes £775,000 a week.
A week.
A week.
Not a game.
A week.
Okay.
And that's half of his income. So he's making $2.8 million a week
Wow.
from sports.
Yeah, I don't get it. If you're asking me why, I don't know why.
You don't know why? But
This is a shit topic for me because I don't know much about it.
But it's not, because you will know it, because you know who the wallabies are. You know who the kangaroos are. You know who the hockey roos, the hockey roos.
Oh, hockey roos, okay.
The socceroos.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could name a soccer player from the Australian soccer team. No. Tim Cahill? Never heard of him?
Nope.
You've never heard of Tim Cahill?
Nope.
Do you live under a rock?
No, I don't watch sport.
I know, but you're the only one. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it.
Actually, I won't say all of my muso friends, but I would say a big chunk of any of my musician friends don't watch sport either. I don't know if that's the difference. I'm into that and they're into that. I don't know. No, I don't. No, sorry.
So, no, sorry.
I just can't help you with this. It's not a very good topic for
It's
me.
a brilliant topic for you. You just...
No,
because you're...
If I knew something about it.
But you know about people. You know people. You can read people. Yes? You play gigs all the time. You've got to be able to read a crowd.
Yeah,
you got to know what people like and why they like it
And
why
I
they
hate
don't like
football.
it. Yeah, but you got to...
Because when you're playing a gig, it's some fuckwit screaming at a TV screen when you're trying to play music. It's so much fun.
So, to him, the sport's more important than the live entertainment.
Look, I'll admit to you, without, and you know this, working in a similar industry, without sport, a lot of the pubs and clubs would go broke, like, footy and stuff.
No, that's not true.
You don't think so?
A lot of it's connected to, seems to be a disease that's infected every pub. Disease that's infected every pub when it comes to sport. You watch a sporting game now on TV, which you don't, but every second ad is betting. Online betting.
Oh, yes.
And they banned cigarette advertising.
Yeah.
They've banned... Well, you don't see a whole lot of alcohol advertising. I'm sure it's
only
there.
on the field itself.
Yeah.
Like, where they got the camera the perfect angle, so it, so they've sprayed the logo or whatever perfectly on the ground, in a really weird angle, so when the camera points down at it, it looks square.
So there you have seen it.
Of course I've seen shit like that. And where the most sport that I actually get to see is at a gig. Because when I'm at a gig, there's always a group of blokes sitting in the corner with the big screen watching TV. That's where I see it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because I can't relate to those guys. Like, I love sport. I love sport.
Yeah, yes, but
I can't go to
do you
a
think
pub.
that's a quintessentially Australian thing?
Yes, that's what I'm
So it
suggesting.
doesn't happen in...
It didn't happen in
Ireland,
Ireland. We'd
UK.
go and watch a football game together, like a big game together. Yeah. But you wouldn't go to the pub every week and back horses and dogs and sit there and watch cricket and rugby league. But
industry.
Australian, there's this quintessential Australian male that's his Saturday afternoon at
Absolutely.
the TAB in the pub. I can't relate to that a whole lot, and I don't understand it a whole lot. And I was hoping you could shed some light on it.
Yeah, right. I think probably a person such as yourself, who I think has the genuine... I don't want to go as far to say that people don't have a genuine interest in it and go to the pub, but I think probably your interest is probably more real, maybe, because you're not going for the extras. You just, you don't even go. I mean, you might just sit down and watch whatever football on TV. I don't know. But you don't have to go to the pub to do it.
No, I don't.
And
I don't have to be in that. No, I don't need that
Is it a
group.
mateship thing? Because the mateship is a huge thing in Australia. Mates.
Well, this is it. This is why I'm asking you the question. But is that where your bonding's from young? Because you all played in the same footy team, or you all played in the same cricket team. And I know for a fact that you played 2 seasons of rugby league.
Yeah, I did when I was young. Yeah, 7 and 8, I think.
Before you went picking wildflowers in the graveyard next
yes,
door.
Exactly. That was up here, actually.
I know. Your mother's a great source of information.
Oh, did she tell you that?
Yeah.
Did she? Yeah. Well, both. Well, my older brother was very sport orientated, and my younger brother a little bit. And they certainly. Well, Stevens certainly played more sport than I ever did, and Chris definitely did as well, but probably not as much as him.
But is that where that mateship is born, out of sport? The Australian quintessential mateship, is it born in sport?
Possibly. I don't really have an answer. Possibly. Maybe I'm just part of a different tribe. I don't know. Like being musicians, you're mates with other musicians, and that's my common ground with them. Where people who don't do that. But do you go with other muso mates to see musos? Oh, not very often. Sometimes. Yeah. I'd say very rarely.
So there's hardly a tribe if you don't travel together. But these sporting nuts, and then they elevate people that don't need to be elevated.
Or shouldn't be.
Yes, and this is partly because of this. This is partly because of my topic tonight. I'm going to say something
here, and I've thought about this a lot. And I can't remember who it was. It was a rugby league player, and he got pulled up for drugs or women or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. And the manager came out. Let me finish. The manager came out and said, "Oh, well, you've got to understand these guys, play a high risk sport, and they're going to do other high risk things in life." And I just call bullshit on that whole thing. Okay, nothing is more high risk than joining the military.
Okay,
right? Nothing is more high risk. You're having bombs fired at you where you could die.
Yeah.
That's fucking high risk.
Yes,
that's incredibly high risk. What's the difference? They are disciplined.
Yeah.
They have discipline drummed
into
them.
They have to be disciplined or they get shot.
Exactly. So don't give me this, they play a high risk sport so they can misbehave. That's fucking bullshit. Do soldiers misbehave? Yes, they do a little bit, especially Aussie soldiers. They were pretty shocking in the war balls. But the point is that there's discipline to say, well, you can't go and do that because you'll be brought up on a court-martial charge. I know you have the judiciary and all the rest of that sort of stuff in football and stuff. But to compare the two, I think, is pretty shit, really.
Yeah. But they get wrapped in Australia. It happens in English football as well. They get wrapped in this little bubble of their club. And they become the most important person in their club, and they get elevated and elevated and elevated, and they start to believe their own bullshit.
Tear the stadium apart and eat the seats.
Well, there was a game between England and Ireland.
That would have been great.
In Dublin, and it got called off because fans started ripping the seats out and throwing them at each other.
Yeah.
So, and they all just got pushed.
That happens at Guns N' Roses concerts.
They didn't even arrest any of the English fans. They just pushed them out to the train, brought the train to the boat, put them all on the boat, and sent them back.
Who thought that up?
That's what happened.
Yeah, but who thought that idea?
I don't know, but it would have been some coppers gone. You know what? Let's just get them the fuck out of here. But your stars, like in your cricket boys at the moment, who just got beaten in the World Cup.
Actually, I will admit to you, I didn't play any competition cricket, but weekends for me and my brothers, because we grew up on a golf course, the golf course was our cricket pitch, and I played, backyard cricket every single weekend in summer. Like that's probably what I did more than anything.
Did you ever use sandpaper?
No. No.
So these two guys, David Warner and Steve Smith, who were captain and vice captain, came up with a scheme to use
the sandpaper thing,
sandpaper on the ball for I don't know what it does.
How much was that going to do with the aerodynamics of the ball?
How much did it cost them?
I don't know.
And what in their brain goes, we can get away with this, and this will help us win. So it was all about winning. It was all about winning.
It was like who was it? Kim. Who was the? I don't know if you're out here then. The famous underarm.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
It was Kim. I can't think of his last name. It was around Greg Chappell time and all those guys, and they did the underarm bowl so that because they needed like one run to win or something like that. So they went, "Oh, we'll do an underarm," and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit a six off of.
But that's not the same as sandpaper. That's bringing something on.
It's still cheating in a way, isn't it? It's still cheating.
No, it was in the underarm within the rules.
Well, apparently it is.
Yeah,
but
straight arm.
It is, but
it's not within.
It's not very sporting, is it?
No. Well, neither is rubbing a ball with sandpaper, is it?
I don't think that's worse than the sandpaper thing. At least I was still tossing the ball down the pitch.
But but the two of them got a ban and they came back for the World Cup, right?
Okay.
and they've been booed. The English fans have given it to them at every...
Was that against England, was it?
They've been booed against everybody.
Yeah.
The tournament's been in England.
Yeah.
And they're getting booed left, right, and
When
centre.
did it happen in Australia or England when that happened?
I don't know where the ball tampering...
I do remember it.
Yeah.
I don't... Yeah.
So Steve Smith, and he cried, and everybody was like, oh, the penalty's harsh enough. He can come back now.
So what was his penalty?
He got banned for like a year.
Oh, poor baby.
And
a year off.
They got well, no, that's just
a season.
No, that's just in Australia. He went and played the IPL in India and made an absolute matzo money.
Shitload of money.
So he went to England for this, and all the fans are booing him. And the Aussies are going, "Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair." I'm thinking, if that had been an English bowler,
oh, they got the flogging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way Australia will never. I don't think those English fans should ever forget that. I think they should be booed every time.
No, I agree with you. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, that's pretty shit. It's very unsportsmanlike.
But every sport's got it. Your swimmers.
Oh. Okay, yeah, keep going. I'm going to bring something else up, but I think what I'm going to bring up could be a podcast of its own. But anyway.
All right, the swimmers who. I don't know where they're at now, but they had the missile or whatever it was, and they took all
Torpedo.
They had a
Thorpe.
No, yeah. Why couldn't he come out as gay until afterwards?
Didn't matter.
It matters. Like, he's a human being. He should be allowed to be whatever he wants to be.
Of course he should.
But because of constraints. And then the other lunatic, what was his name? Grant Hackett. Grant Hackett that went mad on a plane. They had to land it and kick him off. And then he went to his girlfriend's house and pulled the fucking door off. Like, these people are elevated to hero status. And just because he can swim longer than somebody else. Yeah. Like, some of them, Kieran Perkins was a gentleman of the sport and a great Australian. But we elevate these people to role models.
I don't.
No, I don't. Australians do.
I know, absolutely they do.
And then these so-called role models can flip their case, flip their lid, and do something incredible. It's like the nights when they were in Bathurst and they ran through and there was drugs and raping and all that sort of stuff. Don't quote me on that one. But, and they all just like, yeah, they're just footballers, they're blowing off steam. What a load of shit.
No, that's called bad behaviour is what it's called. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with this topic.
Well, Michael Klim.
These names mean nothing to me.
All right, he was an Australian swimmer at an Olympic thing, and he got banned for biting. He bit.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So there's not. I don't think there's a single.
Does biology come into it here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
biology
in terms
into it.
of and I'm not saying.
Do you think it's genetics? Do you think because you're a mongrel race that has come from convicts, you're all mad? Is that what you think? Is that where you're going?
No, that's just the Irish component.
Oh, it's just the Irish component.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good drinkers as well. But look, what I was going to try and say is maybe when you do a competitive sport and you're into a competitive thing, it makes you more generally just more aggressive. Being a male, probably. I don't know about. What do you think about the females? But males, it might just bring out your competitive streak and your aggressive streak more.
But do you think they're using that as they call it white line fever? As soon as you cross the white line, you're allowed to be nuts, and they go, "What happens on the field stays on the field."
Yeah, I disagree with that.
But you've
still got to be
civil.
You're still got to be civil. You got to still be civil.
See, that's the whole cricket.
Chivalrous.
That's how cricket held itself for 100 years. We're the gentleman's sport, this, that, and the other. Yeah. And you're not. You're bowling underarms. You're using sandpaper that you're like. It was in his pants, that could have touched his testicles. And then they're rubbing testicle sweat with sandpaper onto a bowling ball, onto a cricket ball to bowl. So you've got your cricketers who are cheats.
Yeah.
Your rugby league.
You're not going to get much of an argument out of me with this topic.
Your rugby league players who, biggest star here locally would have been Andrew Johns.
Yeah.
Who has come out and admitted to drug use and this, that, and the other.
But what happened there, though? What did they blame it on?
Oh, depression.
Yes.
But
it was all very good and monitoring around. He suffers from depression. There's fucking lots of people suffer from depression. They don't always carry on like that. If you're trying to get me to agree with you, the excuses like that are bullshit. And yes, they should be role models for every young kid that plays on the football field just over the hill there. I agree. They should be held to account, and they should be. This is such a boring topic.
This is a great topic, just because you don't know. But this is the thing in Australia. Sport's massive, right? Just because you live in a little cave that doesn't involve sport.
I'm very happy in my little cave.
I know, it's a nice cave, but it's huge, and you've appointed Australians of the Year because they were being sports people.
Yeah.
Like, do you not think that's just shit? You telling me there's nobody out there that was more qualified? The doctor, Chang, was he ever like a heart attack guy? Heart transplant guy? Was he ever Australian? I think he was. There's something in the back of my head.
Yeah, I think
maybe
one
he
of
was.
the guys from
You can
Yothu
fact
Yindi
check.
was.
Fact check that, Murray.
Yeah, well, there wasn't the singer from Yothu Yindi, the Aboriginal.
Oh, so every now and again they throw.
Was, I think.
See, this is I've got a thing bone here. Every now and again they throw
the bone. No?
they throw an Aboriginal name in.
You think it's a bit token?
Yeah, it's absolutely token.
Yeah.
Like, they made Adam Goodes Australian of the Year, and he should have been. He was brilliant. He was an AFL player for the Sydney Swans.
Yes, I actually know who he is.
And he got booed out of the game. He actually quit the game
sad,
because the fans, every time he got the ball, just continuously booed him. And he got all sorts of death threats and everything.
But look, I don't know much about that. But did they do it because he's Indigenous, or because he's a tosser?
He's not a tosser.
It's like Mundine. Anthony Mundine. Why does nobody like Anthony Mundine?
Because he is a tosser.
Because he is a tosser. It's got nothing to do what the colour of his skin is. He's just a dickhead. He thinks he's Muhammad Ali, but he ain't got shit on Ali.
So you do know sport, you see?
I know some stuff.
Now, Anthony Mundine's an interesting case. I'll never forget the morning after 9/11 where he said America brought that onto themselves.
Yeah.
On the morning show.
Yeah, but he's a Muslim.
So what? What's that got to do with the price of fucking cabbage?
He's obviously empathising with the Muslim world, isn't he?
Well, what about the couple of hundred people that were in the tower that got hit by the planes?
3,000 people, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Fact check.
Yeah.
I don't know how many were in the... Well, yeah. Let's say 3,000 oddly... 3,000 odd people were killed on 9/11.
What idiot in TV went, oh no, let's ask Mundine what he thinks.
But that's the media. The media love,
They love building up heroes and then cutting them down.
No, it's not only that.
Yeah, they do. They
they
absolutely
probably
love
do.
it.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And then the comeback story. They come back like the Steve Smith thing. If he'd won the World Cup this year, it would have been like, oh, tampering banned, we're in the World Cup, great. So they would have crucified him, brought him
cricket?
back. Yes, this is cricket.
Okay.
But Mundine's a whole kettle of fish all by himself.
He is.
Like, he's...
different sport, though.
But he was a rugby league player. He played for the Dragons before, and he claimed Brighton Asta got picked ahead of him into the Australian team because Bright was white.
Okay.
Was it Brighton Asta or Freddie Fittler? I can't remember, one or the other.
I have no idea.
But you've got these sporting heroes, and Dawn French. Not Dawn French.
Fraser,
that's twice I've done that.
Dawn French. But I think doesn't look like a real sporty person to me.
But you look... You're new. There's actually one I really do like, and that's Ash Barty.
Okay.
She's number one. She won the French Open, number one tennis player in the world. Australian.
Oh, tennis. Sorry.
Tennis.
Yep.
And she did 3 interviews. She got knocked out of Wimbledon, but she did 3 interviews.
I'll tell you who I do like. He's a sarcastic motherfucker, and I love it. It was just one quote. Nick...
Not Nick Kyrgios.
Yes!
Oh.
Nick Kyrgios. And I was sitting there because this is probably nearly a year ago. It must have been the Australian Open. And they've said to him, I fucking pissed myself. They said, I can't remember that question. But they asked him a question, and he went, oh, are you worried about your match with blah, blah, blah? And he went, not really. And the journalist went, not really. He went, and he said, is there an echo in here? I fucking pissed myself. That was so funny. And I like him since then.
He's a tosser.
Is he?
Yeah, he's an absolute tosser.
Yeah, but
he's not as bad as Tomic, who's the other Australian tennis player, who a journalist, he got fined his whole match fee for Wimbledon because he tanked the game.
What do you mean tank the game? What does that mean?
He purposely didn't play well so he could lose and go home.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He got paid £81,000 for it, and then for the first time, it was the quickest game in men's history because it was done.
But he didn't give a shit.
No, he didn't give a shit.
Where was he playing?
Wimbledon.
Wow.
Yeah. First round of Wimbledon. Got knocked out. And then they took his whole match fee off him because he did tank the game.
Yeah, right.
And the journalist said something to him and he went, listen, I'll go home in my Lamborghini. How are you getting home?
Yeah. I'm trying to see your point with this topic, and I'm failing at this point. At this juncture.
Australians build up these people
Are you
as heroes.
asking why that is?
That's one of the questions.
Why is it? Okay, I'm trying to think why it is.
Why do we? Why?
No, you are absolutely right, and even it was something that
because sport's just an example of it.
Do you think it's a mateship thing?
I can't put my finger on it. That's why.
Yeah.
Because you build up these people that shouldn't be built up, and then they do something wrong, and you crucify them for a little bit, and then they come back and
But is that a distinctly Australian thing? Don't Americans do that too?
No, not if you're like. Do you remember Ben Johnson? Do you know who Ben Johnson was?
Me, what did he
Ben
do?
Johnson was
Cyclist?
the first guy. No, he was. Oh, we'll get to him. Ben Johnson was the first guy. He beat Carl Lewis in the 100 meters. He was a Canadian.
Yeah.
And he looked like he had a brick shoved under each bicep. It was massive.
Sprinter.
Yeah, and they did him. They did him for drugs, and that was it. Gone. They crucified him.
Steroids, drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if it was like, no, he's just smoking a joint before the rest?
But I remember years ago, someone got disqualified from the Olympics because they had too much caffeine in their system. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. I don't know where it was, but I do remember that. And it's like, oh, you probably had one too many cups of coffee that day. And the caffeine doesn't actually improve your performance. It can make you feel more alert and more awake, but it doesn't actually. It's not performance enhancing.
I'm guessing it wouldn't be a shooter.
No, it wasn't a shooter. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, I remember that years ago.
But you do. You make these people heroes that don't necessarily do anything to be a hero, want to be a hero, and then when they eventually fuck up like they were always going to do, you crucify them.
I say you. I don't do anything.
Well,
I don't care enough to care.
Yeah, but you're in the minority.
Oh no, I'm absolutely in the minority.
Even in this room, and there's just the two of us. So, the cyclist...
Jabba doesn't like sport either.
The cyclist that... what was his name? Oh, the American guy who won 7 Tour de France's.
Oh, and then was on drugs.
And he said he was the big ambassador for don't take drugs. And then he retired with his 7 yellow jerseys and took photographs from Texas. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And he took a photograph of him lying on the lounge with his 7 yellow jerseys up in his yellow jersey room, I'm guessing. And then he decided to make a comeback in Australia.
Did he?
Yeah, about 2 years later, he retired. He died. He had testicular cancer and came back from testicular cancer, won the Tour de France 7 times. And
yeah, wow.
Yeah, but only because he was on steroids. And the only reason he got caught is when he came back, he tested positive after the 2 years he'd had off. So you're going... And then eventually he had to admit that he took it all the time. So they moved his book from fact to fiction.
Yeah.
On how to win the Tour de France.
But remember that.
You see that's an incredible sport. They cycle around.
Cycling.
They go around France. Like they started in Belgium this year. It's on at the moment, I think. And they're doing like hundreds and hundreds of Ks up the side of mountains every day for like 2.5 weeks. The human body's not supposed to do that.
No. When I did, actually, this is an interesting story. I don't remember the young fella's name. Young fella is probably only a couple of years younger than me, but I was younger too. But when I was doing my martial arts, and guy was coming along to training, and my teacher said, he was in the Seoul Olympics. I think he was a swimmer. I don't think he...
Seoul was 88.
Seoul? Oh, I don't know where it was. But anyway, he was a swimmer, and he trained from a really, really young age and all sort of stuff. And I hadn't been to training for a couple of months, and I came back, and teacher said, such and such died. And I went, what? He said, yeah, he died of a heart attack, massive heart attack.
He was fit. Or was it drugs?
No, he trained. Well, I don't know what the actual explanation was how he died, but he died. I mean, he died of a massive heart attack, but yet very, very young. Yeah, it's like his heart beat as much as it was allowed to in one lifetime. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but yeah, just gone. He was an Olympic swimmer.
Wow.
I don't think he won anything. I don't think he won any medals or anything, but he trained intensively for the
that's going to be heartbreaking. Training for the Olympics and getting to the Olympics and then just swimming and nobody remembering your name, or
I can't remember his name. I mean, he wasn't very well known, but it was only because my sensei said, he was a swimmer and blah blah blah.
There's two really famous ones. There was Eddie the Eagle. Remember Eddie the Eagle?
Eddie the Eagle.
Eddie the Eagle was an English ski jumper with the big thick glasses. There was a movie made out of it.
Okay.
And they'd never had a ski jumper before, and he just barely made the grade.
I'm going to bring up a topic, actually. We could probably do this a bit later, but yeah, sorry, go on.
He made an absolute hero. And then there was the African swimmer, I can't remember his name, and finished last in every race in the Olympics. And it was like, great. Wonderful. You got what about the Jamaican bobsled team?
Oh, yeah.
That's Olympics. They're sports. But see, there is great aspects to sport that shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
And with the level of obesity in this country.
I can sit down and I can watch a game of rugby league. I can watch a game of cricket. I can watch a game of rugby union. I probably know a little bit less about soccer.
Yeah.
But I can sit there and watch a game of footy and go and know where the penalties are. You know who's offside, and I know the rules.
Yeah.
I grew up on the side of a football field. I know the rules, and I know cricket. I played cricket. It's changed probably a little bit since I was a kid, but I know the rules of those games, and now I can sit there and go, oh, blah blah blah, and I understand it totally, but it doesn't draw me into it. Like some people, and my mates, some of my mates growing up, not many of them, but a couple of my mates were like, the footy's ones, like, fucking, just focus on the screen like a bloody cat on a rat or something. It's like, it's like Predator.
Lucky we're not shooting video.
Maybe we should, but it's like it's so focused, and they have to jump out of their chair.
But it gets worse as they get older because then they start gambling, and it's all about the gambling now. That's what that's what I see.
Yeah, it seems to me that way. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to bring up this thing I've been thinking about for a while now, and I was even going to maybe do a full podcast on this, but maybe not. This transgender bullshit that's creeping into sport is fucking bullshit. Do you agree? How can you not agree?
There's an AFL. There's a guy transitioning to a girl, and he's playing. She's whatever this person wants to be called is playing in a league in Canberra, and got picked.
What sport is it?
AFL, Australian rules football,
yeah.
And got picked by one of the big clubs in the AFL for their women's league. And the AFL came in and ruled, said, no, you can't do that at the moment because of who this person has been or was. And now there's all sorts of court cases going across it. But there's also an Olympian runner that they test because she's got too much
testosterone.
Yeah. And they're saying, well, she's obviously being a man at some stage. Yeah. So the cross-gender thing...
It's going to ruin women's sport. Imagine you being a woman and you go, I want to be the best female wrestler, real wrestling, not the WWF,
But that's a sport. That's a sport.
But the best Olympic wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
This person decides, wakes up one day and says, I now want to be recognised as a female, and I want to be, this person might be 25 years old,
but that's,
and they've lived their entire life as a male. They've got male bone structure. They've got male muscular structure. Yeah. I know there is a thing about they have to have their testosterone level under a certain thing, but as far as I'm concerned, that is fucking bullshit. Imagine being that girl going, I was just beaten by a person who was born as a guy. Yeah. You would be fucking shattered. And what's going to happen? The girl's going to say, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. This is not fair.
But I don't think there's a single person that's woken up and gone, geez, if I was a girl, I'd be really good at this sport, and taken the step to change gender just to play a sport. I reckon the whole changing gender was a much bigger step for them than playing the sport.
Maybe. I don't know. But
sorry to ruin your whole rant there.
No. But it is a rant. I feel very strongly about this because if like I said, I'm going to repeat it. But if you are born, you want to be the best. You're born a female. You want to be the best. And the reason we have fucking male and female sport is because with most sports, I'm not going to say all sports because not all sports had come down to physical prowess. But most women can't compete with men in physical sports.
No.
Okay? No, you can't put a female boxer in the ring with you can't put the best female boxer in the ring with the best male boxer and expect the female boxer to win.
No.
They just can't, and that's just biology.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you start throwing in the mix of, I'm going to throw in a fucking a person who was a guy for the majority of them, now they're growing their hair and taking hormones and blah blah blah, and they punch the fuck out of the poor girl. Like, how is that fair? This is bullshit. This transgenderism. If you want to look, and I don't have any problems with, you can wear a pink tutu down the street with a fucking G-banger on. I don't care what you want to do. Okay, I don't care the way you live your life. But when you are impacting on things like sport and things like that, that is bullshit. You can't do that. That is not fair. That's why you don't have steroids in sport. That's why you have all those rules.
Maybe we should. Wouldn't it be fun to have an Olympics with everybody just completely off their tits?
I don't think it'd be off their tits in a good way.
Juiced, absolutely juiced. Have the steroid Olympics and then the normal Olympics.
Well, what do you think about that?
But
See, this is why I am interested in this.
The
So you got me all
transgender thing.
riled up because I am interested in this.
I think it's very, very unfair. I don't know who gets to draw the line or where the line is, but it's
In my opinion, I'm going to take a really tough stance on this.
Good.
If you are born as a male, you cannot compete as a female.
So if you look at it from a legal point of view, if that man trans to a female and then his living is playing football and you deny him making his living, then you're denying his right to make a living.
No, you're not denying.
If that's what he does, if that's what
what's
she
the other option?
does.
What's the other option there? You stick them all in the. You mix teams of everything.
Transgender league. We do a transgender league.
You have mixed football. You have mixed soccer. You have mixed fucking tennis. You have mixed.
There
everything.
is mixed tennis.
And but who's going to win? And I'm not saying this to be sexist.
Yeah.
Okay, the sports that probably women do compete well are probably the less. I'm not sure what the statistics are, but the 100th best fucking tennis player, female, cannot compete with the world's best male.
No, not in a
They
million
just
years.
can't. And it's not because I'm being sexist, and not because I don't believe women can't do this or they should be allowed to do this. It's just, that's biology.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
It's biology. So, I mean, when you... it just really... And I just feel for the girls. If you imagine it, you train your entire life and you get flogged by someone who last week decided to become a girl. You go, what's the point? What's the point of getting up in the morning?
How many of those people? I can only think of one in Australia. Those people.
Yeah, but it's starting to come out more. It's starting more to be accepted. I mean, there was a thing actually only a couple of weeks ago where in I don't think professional level, but like Saturday morning sports like footy and soccer and cricket and that. They have to treat transgender people or kids.
What kid?
You can't-
How
they
old
can't
are we
be
talking
discrimin-
here?
they
How
can't be
old are we talking?
discriminated
How old are we
against.
talking here?
Oh, I don't know, but they can't be discriminated against
Yeah.
in weekend sports as kids.
But what they do in rugby league, what they should, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do it, it wasn't done by age, it was done by weight. You played by weight.
Yeah, that's like boxing.
Yeah. So that would solve that problem, wouldn't it?
But would it?
Well, if you
But you can have a really, really heavy girl and a skinny, not skinny, but say an athletic guy.
like me.
Like, absolutely. You're an Adonis, let's face the facts. But you know what I mean? Like, but the guy, if it was physically competitive, would probably still win. Wouldn't they? No one can see you.
Probably.
Put your guns away. He's been smoking his guns.
Probably, yes. I would tend to agree with that.
It's just, it really gets me going because I just think it's horrible. It's horrible to people who have trained their entire lives to be the best of their gender in their chosen sport. Probably when it comes down to things like shooting and, where you don't need to be as physically...
What about diving?
Diving? I don't know about diving.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be.
What if you were taking drugs?
But if you're a male, if you're a transgender, you were a male and you became a female, you might have a bigger frame than the girl, so you'll have more splash than the girl does.
But you're not supposed to have splash.
That's my point.
Oh, really? You had a point.
So they're going to lose, aren't they?
No,
if they're heavier and they make more of a splash than the girls do.
Took the tackle. If the tackle's still there. But no, the girls would have bosoms.
Yeah, but the best ones tend to be very streamlined, don't they?
The streamline. You're saying
Streamlined?
flat-chested.
Well, I'm just saying streamline. That makes for a better diver, I assume.
But even in the swimming, they gave them those special suits and then they took them off them.
Did they?
Yeah, they gave them these special suits to swim faster and less resistance, and they went, hold on, that's a little too quick. You can't use them anymore. But
was that just one team that took it on?
The Australians had them.
Yeah. Just let everyone have them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with drugs. Let them all take drugs. Have you seen these weightlifters?
I'll give you another example of what I was talking about. Here was a thing that happened not long ago, not far from here. The women's professional soccer team. And again, I'm not ragging on ladies at all, but this just illustrates my point. Ladies, do what you want. I don't care. I don't mind. Whatever. Love the ladies, but this is what happened. You know, I'm not
Dig
sexist.
up,
I'm just
dig
trying to
up,
say I'm
dig
not.
up.
I'm just trying to make the point here that I'm not being sexist. I'm just this is just a fact. The local under 15 boys team played the Newcastle. I don't know what they're called. Jets female team, whatever. Soccer team.
Football. Yeah.
Football.
Okay. Soccer.
Football. Flogged them. Like, I can't remember what it was. But
Who
maybe
won?
15. The boys.
Okay.
Under 15s boys flogged them. Like something like 10-0 or something. I don't know.
Against fully grown women.
Yep. Flogged them.
Okay.
So there's an I'm not saying, those boys are better. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the boys...
kind of.
No, my point is that it's unfair, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unfair. It's unfair to the girls. I'm actually on the girls' side here. It's unfair to them.
You strike me as being on the girls' side a lot.
You know what? I've said many times I'd rather play to a room full of women than a room full of blokes.
Yeah. But that's, there's so much in that.
In what?
Female. Like this, I'm sitting here and I'm not, as I said, I'm not being racist or sexist either, but they're calling for equality in the money they make. So
let's not go down this road.
Why?
Well, because this has been disproven already.
What?
Are you talking about equal pay stuff?
Yeah, so
that's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
There is no gender pay gap. That's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit.
And sport?
Sport is different. Yes, I will agree with you. I'm just talking... Okay, I know... Like, let's just stay on that, just on the gender pay gap for a moment.
Yeah.
If I go out and get a job as a lollipop guy...
Yep.
Or traffic controller...
Yes.
And then a girl goes for the same job...
Yeah.
They get paid the same amount.
Yes.
That's an hourly rate.
Yes.
So, because I'm male doesn't mean I get paid more.
No.
So,
I'm talking about...
But when it comes to sport...
Yeah.
So, you're talking about sport, you're talking about actors, you're talking about things like this, porn stars... The girls get paid more.
In porn stars?
In porn stars.
How do you know that?
Do.
Oh, you're an agent.
That's right.
You get a bigger cut out of girls.
That's probably one of the few things, like in that type of thing, where the girls get paid more than the guys. Yeah.
Oh, seriously, they should.
And they should, absolutely.
But in sport, they're nowhere near
No.
equal.
But does that come down to? And I mean, one of the things
I'll tell you what it comes down to.
What?
TV audiences.
Okay, absolutely, it does. But I'm sexist in a completely other way. If there's a bunch of girls on the field playing a game of footy, I'd certainly rather watch them.
Why?
Because they look better than blokes do. I'd rather look at them than guys, wouldn't you?
I don't know if I want to get drawn into this conversation.
So you'd rather look at a bunch of blokes running around the field than a bunch of girls?
If I was going to watch a female sport, I'd probably pick one that was...
But don't you love listening to the female tennis with those noises they make? Oh, yeah. Do it again. But same thing. No. But no, and that's being sexist in a completely not misogynistic, but it's like in a you know what I mean? I'll give you another example. I know this is going nuts.
No, wait a second. Have you seen some of these female tennis players? So you're getting off on the sound Serena Williams is making as she's hitting this tennis ball. Like. You don't know what Serena Williams...
Who cares what they look like? As long as it sounds good.
All right, fine.
Oh, okay. You ring up this is going fucking down really quickly. You ring up a sex line. Do you? If you do, like, I'm not saying I've ever done it. Have I? No.
Fact check.
No, I haven't. But I know people that have, not me. But do you care what? As long as their voice sounds saucy on the other end, you don't care, do you?
No, I don't. How the hell did we get here? We've gone from female tennis players making noises to calling sex lines. Like,
well, I'm not saying the same thing. It's the auditory part of it which gets you going, right?
So you don't even have to watch it. You just want to listen to women's tennis.
I don't even watch tennis. I don't even watch the women's tennis. I might happen to be on TV and I might just tune in for a moment.
Okay.
But no, a lot of gigs lately they have the girls rugby league on.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You do watch sport.
I
you don't even know.
It
seeps into your brain.
It happens to be on when I'm there. I don't sit there and go, oh, I'm going to watch this game.
The women's league in Australia,
breaks.
all the women's league, the AFL, the NRL, and the soccer is making huge growth. I think
that's fantastic.
I think it's brilliant too.
Yeah.
And the Women's Soccer World Cup was on recently too, and it was a huge audience, which I thought was great because they actually had a bigger audience for the Soccer World Cup than they did for the Male Cricket World Cup. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
America, you see that America
but
won.
It comes down to sponsorship.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It comes down to
Okay, I'll
money.
give you another example, but it's not sport related. It's actually my favorite movie franchise. But it's like the new Star Wars films.
Okay.
Is another example I'm talking about.
Is there
Is there
gender equality?
Well, a lot of people were calling them woke movies. Woke. I did quotes. I did air quotes. It's going to happen. But you know what woke means, don't you?
No.
Woke.
Tell
It
me.
means, like politically correct.
Okay.
It's called woke, being woke. And so they're calling the new Star Wars movies woke. They're woke movies because they've got girls in the lead characters. Like you've got Rey and you've got...
Princess Leia was always a lead character,
Well,
wasn't she?
she was a very strong character.
Yeah.
I watched the original Star Wars just surprisingly just the other day again, and yeah, she's a massively strong character in that movie. But she wasn't the lead character. Like really, Luke was the lead character in the original movies.
Who was the lead character in Misery?
Oh, I haven't seen Misery for ages.
Was it the woman or was it the writer? What was her?
It would have been the writer. Would have been the protagonist, wouldn't it?
He's lying in the bed. Oh, that scene where he's lying in the bed and Jesus, smashes his
Sledgehammer.
ankles. Oh my God. So that's an old movie. So it woke my arse.
Yeah.
Disney just made. They're remaking the Little Mermaid. Sorry, hand motions. The Little Mermaid, and half of America
Break
lost their
dancing.
shit because they picked a black girl to play the mermaid.
Ariel. Back up. What
up.
happened?
Disney are remaking. They're doing a live version of the Little Mermaid,
Right.
as they did with like the Jungle Book and all this type of stuff.
yeah.
They're going to do one of the Little Mermaid,
Right.
and they picked a black actress to play the mermaid. And half the people who like Disney lost their shit
Why?
because Ariel's white
It doesn't matter.
in the cartoon.
yeah,
Ariel
yeah,
is
no,
white.
but what does it matter?
Well, it doesn't matter to me or you, but
Yeah.
but it matters to people. So how
Isn't that
woke?
weird?
How woke is that for Disney?
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, Disney, have the parent company to Lucasfilm now as well. So, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. Do you go where do mermaids come from? Are they Greek in origin?
Oh,
Or that's
God.
sirens. Sirens are Greek in origin. I can't remember. Oh, it's more of a sort of a sailor thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
The mermaid.
mermaid's not real. We know this.
The interesting thing about sailors and pirate ships, though,
Oh, here
we're
we
getting
go.
off track here.
Well, we're getting
But
well
pirate
off track.
ships- But the pirate ships were some of the first democracies, in not very first because it was Greek and Rome, but Greece and Rome. But pirate ships were actually democracies.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was like the captain was voted in,
The
and they were a very multicultural crew as well.
pirates were actually quite cool. There's something like I have this soft spot for pirates.
So I love it.
So yeah,
It's fascinating stuff.
yeah. There's a whole show on pirates, I reckon.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Podcast, yeah.
Podcast
So I'm
pirates.
sure there's been plenty of shows made about pirates. Yeah. No, good for it. But yeah, this woke stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I look. To me, it's not about the color of the skin, the gender of the person. It just comes down to can they do the job and then can they do it well? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work?
So if you're a coach and you can pick a transgender player who's bigger and stronger, would you not pick them? Because it's
Well, of course you would, but
That
isn't
makes-
that being
that makes-
unfair to
so-
the girls born as girls?
who's being woke there? Which side is being woked? Which side's being woke? The one with the transgender player because they were brave enough to pick a transgender player and bring her into the fold.
This braveness is bullshit. There's nothing brave about being a guy and getting in the ring with a girl.
But they're not guys
Have
anymore.
you seen Jackass? Remember the first Jackass movie and got in the ring with the bloody female Thai boxer?
No.
Punched the shit out of him.
There is a place in Thailand.
Wiped him out in one,
Yeah.
like 5 seconds.
There's a couple of places in Thailand where you go to watch the
Muay Thai.
yeah, and you can if you can have a go.
Hmm.
So to watch, I was there once and I was watching these Australian. There was about 4 Australian blokes.
Yeah.
They've been drinking beer for a good 5 to 6 hours before one of them went, "I can take this guy."
Guy or girl?
Guy.
Guy.
I can
No,
take
you
this
can't.
guy.
They're
So
trained
the-
from youth, those
Yeah,
guys.
these tiny little guys. So this Australian guy's like taking off the shirt and the jacket here, hold my beer,
Yeah.
jumped into the ring. About 4 minutes later, his mates had to come and get him, and just sit him back down. He just got his ass
But
kicked.
they're trained from Muay Thai. They're trained from little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's sport again. But that's a discipline.
Yeah, it's a discipline. Yeah, and that's martial arts are a bit of a discipline. And I think the difference between when I used to do martial arts, I did it for more of a not a competitive thing, more of a personal sort of thing. I would say not so much competitive.
Well, his thing,
You used to spar in that a bit, but you didn't ever get carried away with it.
my son does taekwondo. Does a little bit of sparring. Still thinks he's going to kick my ass. I said, you can't even reach it. He's only 7. But here's the thing I hate that's creeped into sport. I don't know if it's just Australia, but it seems to be everywhere. And that's every kid gets a prize.
Yeah. So this again, this woke stuff.
They don't get taught to lose.
It's entitlement stuff.
You have to get taught to lose. You have to get taught to train to win. You have to. Like, you can't just give it's some kid that trains and trains and trains and trains and trains and wins the game. And the other kid just turns up because he doesn't want to do a maths class and gets the same medal and goes, well, I got the same medal as him and I didn't have to do all his shit.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
Yeah, but they're not going to be the one who, if they get older, are going to offered the contract, $1 million contract.
No, but I'm thinking this is if we brought back in not every kid gets a prize. If there has to be losers and you go, right, I'm shit at this. Yeah. I'm really shit at this. I should try something else. Yeah. If you fail at skydiving the first time, I don't think I was
shit at sport. I just wasn't interested in it.
Yeah, well, do something else. You obviously did do something else, music, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that came later, but yeah.
But yeah, I lost a lot of things. I did boxing as a kid and got my ass handed to me once. One time, absolutely got.
You went, fuck, they're not doing that again.
Yeah, I went, that's it. I'm shit at this. If this guy can beat me that easy, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
And didn't.
Yeah.
But unless like if I got, and I was knocked out cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And if I'd got the same prize as him, I'd be like, how easy is this shit? I just walk in, get knocked out, get my prize, fuck off home.
Yeah, no, it's mental. Yeah, it's mental. It's I think it's an entitled society. But they talk about kids being entitled, but I reckon the whole country's entitled. Even older people are shockingly entitled as well. People always say, "Oh, fucking entitled millennials." They talk about this sort of stuff. But I tell you what, I play at a lot of clubs, and there's a lot of entitled old people hanging around clubs too. Oh, I don't want the music going past 6 o'clock because it pisses me off. I'm not used to that. Happens all the time.
Go home.
But that's...
do you play in retirement villages?
No. This is just like RSL clubs and bowling clubs and things like that, where there's a structure and old people like their structure. And
if you're booked to play somewhere like that, which has got an older, do you vary what you play?
Doesn't matter what you play.
No, do you vary what you play?
Oh, you can, but it doesn't matter what you play. It's not about what you're doing. It's just it's out of. It's not their.
They have dinner at 4:30, and you've got to be wrapped up by 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, that's their structure. They used to.
Well, that's the club's fault for booking somebody.
Exactly. I mean, the last time that happened to me was when I was supposed to be playing upstairs somewhere, and they put me downstairs, and then they've got me to finish early because the oldies were like, "Oh, we're not used to this on a Sunday night."
No, we want our roast dinner.
Yeah. So
half chewed, so we don't have to bite it.
Yeah.
So we're getting off point.
Yeah, we are.
Which is well, you just want this one to be over, don't you?
No, I'm just checking the time. Yeah, we're approaching the hour, so. Yeah.
So the whole.
I don't think we got to the point you were trying to get to. You're trying. I think what you're looking for is an explanation, and I haven't got one for you.
But there's also the
you need to ask someone who's like that, not me.
You've also the amount of money that's poured into sport. Stadiums that are built, and
of course, but obviously there's a return, isn't there?
Well, there's not. They're having to redo the stadium in Sydney right now. It's cost them billions.
Yeah, but they'll make that money back.
No, they won't.
Is it a government one, or is it a government one?
Yeah, and there's places in Russia. Russia had the.
But surely there's money being made from sport.
Yeah, not by governments that host Olympic Games, unless they reuse the stadiums and facilities. There's no point.
Yeah, I know that, but.
You built this stadium in Sydney was built for the Olympics,
the Olympic
right?
Park, yeah.
Which is 19 years ago, and it's been knocked down.
It's been knocked down.
They've ripped all the seats out, knocked part of it down, and they're rebuilding it
because they were using it for concerts and stuff.
So they're redoing it now at taxpayers' expense.
Yeah, but how much money did they make out of the Olympics when they built it? Did they make enough?
I don't think so.
That's the thing. The sponsorship for the Olympic Games is huge.
The best thing of the Olympic Games was Roy and HG.
Yeah,
the dream.
They were good. That's the only thing I used to shoot into, actually. Yeah, no, great.
And the Greek Roman wrestling. There's sports like that you never watch, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh, I'm an expert in Greek Roman."
Yeah, they're great. Yeah,
but Brisbane's bidding for the Olympics.
Are they?
Yep. Australia and Indonesia are thinking about putting a bid together for the Soccer World Cup, which is such a complete waste of time. Yeah,
I don't think soccer's got the pool in this country.
It's the underage.
You know what I find interesting?
Underage, the young people in Australia are playing football.
You know what I love? And okay, you can go rugby. Okay, fair enough. Rugby's played. Rugby union played in lots of countries. But I love when like, I can't remember. I must have watched it. And Australia rugby league went over to play. I think it was France, or France came here to play. Fucking hammered the shit out of them. Why? Because French people don't play rugby league.
No.
And it's like, oh yes, we're the best in the world. Of course you're the fucking best in the world.
But Australia do that. It's like you do that with your rugby league team. You go, we're the best rugby league team in the world. There's only you, England, and New Zealand.
Yeah.
And
rugby's probably still bigger in New Zealand.
The Solomon Islands and other Fiji and all those places. They're playing and they're getting better. Tonga, they're getting better. But they're not going to knock off England and Australia. Not yet. Hopefully one day they will.
League.
Yeah. But Australia go, we have the best rugby league team in the world. Nobody plays. Nobody plays.
No one plays. No.
It's like the cricket. See, I have the same thing with the cricket. We won the Cricket World Cup.
A lot more competitive, though.
Oh, you got the Cricket World Cup. You've got how many playing Test nations? 10.
Yeah, but still, that's not the same as rugby league, though, is it?
No, but think about how many people play football or go to the Olympics. How many nations compared to like we're the best rugby league team in the world. You know, you can be the best.
But it'd be the same as saying that there's probably not a big world sporting community for baseball.
Oh, it's bigger. You've got America,
you've got
Canada.
America, but the majority would be in America, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Canada,
American football as well. I mean, whether they play American
Gridiron's played everywhere.
Yeah, but not
to the same level not to the level of that. But you could say the same with basketball. They're basketball. Like, why do we bother having the Olympics?
But America's so big they go, fuck, we don't need the rest of the world.
Yeah. If you win the baseball thing, it's called winning the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the trophy's called.
Yeah.
The World Series trophy.
Yeah.
They don't play anybody outside of America.
They'd win anyway.
Yeah. But
because they're the best. Like rugby Australian, rugby league, they're the best players of that sport.
But because nobody else plays it.
I know.
But
I'm agreeing with you.
Cricket's the same. I love these. There's a game called International Rules, and it's half Gaelic football, what I grew up playing, and half Australian rules. And they play the series once a year, and it's fun. But we're the only two countries in the world that play it. And we're the best. Yeah, we won one match. Well done. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
But the sporting prowess Australia mentally possesses compared to what actually happens in the real world, there's a gap. They go, oh, we're box above our weight. You're box above weight. And you always measure yourself against England. Why?
Yeah. Oh,
why?
It's just...
Most countries in the world measure themselves against their neighbours. Canada measures against America. We measure Ireland, we measure against England because they're next to us. Scotland, the same. France, Germany. They're all your next nation.
Oh, I think it's probably sticking it up the...
Yeah, but why? Why does it still matter? Why does it still matter?
No, if you want, I agree. It shouldn't matter.
It still matters in the Australian sporting psyche. Beating us. The Ashes is the biggest...
Maybe because England carries on like a bunch of pompous twats, and then it's like, well, us fucking
but get
colonials
over it.
can kick their ass.
Yeah, but get over it.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But I think that's the psyche.
But yeah, that's just I don't understand. I don't get it, and especially the sports side of it, I don't get it. And you've had some amazing people. Like
we have a lot of for our population. We have a lot of really big sports stars. Yes, yeah, absolutely, we do. And even Trump. I remember when someone was ragging on Trump, like because it was.
Oh my God, we nearly got through a whole show.
No. But there was something he said.
We nearly got through a whole show.
No, it was something he said, and they were ragging on him because of it. Because I can't remember if it was Scott Morrison or the last turdful or whoever it was. And someone was talking to Trump, and Trump said something along the lines of, "Oh, you got a lot of really good sports people there." And they went, "Oh, fuck, that's all Trump knows about Australia." It's like, but he's right, isn't he? He's right.
Okay, I don't know if you consider this sport, but I like motorbikes a lot. At one stage, Casey Stoner was the world champion in the GP racing. Troy Bayliss was the world champion in the superbikes, and Chad Reed.
I'm related to him somewhere along the line.
Chad Reed was the champion in the dirt bikes. All lived between Curry and Tarry. Was there a big hoopla made about them? No, because they're not footballers or cricketers. Or the cricket seems to be
okay. I'll probably It's different now. Okay, to when I was in primary school. Okay, so when I was in primary school,
it's in colour now.
Well, yeah. It's not black and white and grainy anymore. No,
like the moon
when
landing.
I was a kid, honestly, there was two sports you'd play: football or cricket, or both.
Okay.
That was it. You know, at school, you know, that's what you choose. You know, the girls will play softball, netball. You know, the boys will play softball as well.
But you see, netball's not nobody else in the world. It seems to be you play Commonwealth games. Games from Mother England is what you play.
Yeah. Okay, so they were really the Australian two big sports as children. I remember having this conversation with my martial arts teacher. He said in Japan, he said they all do kendo. So kendo is like it's their version of fencing, I suppose. You put the armor on and you got a big bamboo stick and you whack each over the head. And so it's
not
derived...
barbed wire fencing.
No. No. So but that they do that at school. Yeah. That's their national sport at school, I suppose, if you want to call it that. And he said, "Well, what did you do when you were a kid?" And I went, "Played cricket and football." I said, "Well, there you go. That's the same thing with them. That's their sport."
Yeah.
So in Ireland.
I played Gaelic football, I played hurling, I played tennis, I played badminton. Soccer? Yeah, no, that's not the big one. Gaelic football's the big one.
What's Gaelic football?
It looks a bit like AFL, but it's got a round ball, it's got 15 players, and it's played on like a rugby-style pitch with a goalkeeper.
Right.
So it's very different.
So you play hand and feet?
Yes.
Right.
You can pass the ball by punching it or by kicking it.
Right.
So very physical game, not quite as...
That sounds very similar to Aussie rules.
Yeah, Aussie rules is based on it.
Yeah, right.
That's why they play the international series.
Right.
But in Ireland, our obesity levels are tiny compared to, say, here, who's number 2 in the world, just got back from being number 1.
Is that true? America would be the first, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you almost overtook them. And
so you have a theory about that too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Lay it on me, sister.
Fuck you. No, my theory, it's a bit of there's probably multiple things, but I think one of the big ones is that we live in a big country.
Yeah.
And so we drive everywhere.
Yeah.
As an adult. I know as soon as I stop, you know, when you were a kid, when you would walk everywhere, ride your pushy everywhere, things like your abs there. You know, that's what you did. So you kept your weight off when you're a kid, and you're a kid, and you're more, you know, your metabolism's quicker and everything. But you did everything, you went everywhere by, 2 feet in a heartbeat, basically, everywhere you went.
Yeah,
you know.
Absolutely.
But when you get older, you get a car and you go, oh, fuck it, I don't want to walk up the IJ, I'll just drive the car up. You know, it's literally 200 metres up the road. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, I think so it's probably, transport's got a lot to do with it as well.
You think so?
But now we're talking about sedentary kids who are just sitting around watching, and playing games and things like that. Xboxes and I play games like that too, but I don't, and I did when I was a kid. I mean, I was the first video game generation, so were you.
I'd never really played.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, Atari came out. The first Atari came out you could have in your home.
Bing, boom,
bing, but again, boom. My parents, it's like a lot of it comes down to parents, I think. Like my dad basically had a rule is if it's the weekend and there's daylight, get outside.
Yeah.
Get the fuck outside. You don't watch TV in the middle of the day. Get out. Yeah. You're not supposed to be coming back till they're bats.
That doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. I know. I've got young kids. And I know what it's like.
So I like playing games, but I can only really sit there and play games for maybe an hour and a half, and then I get bored and I've got to get up and do something else, and I want to get up and do something else too. So
I missed it completely. I don't know why. It just never clicked with me.
Yeah. Well,
every now and again, I'd play something for like half an hour, and then I wouldn't touch it for like a year. What's the point?
I think it's and also if we're trying to get to a why with a lot of this stuff, I think a lot of it comes down to personality types as well.
Essendon Football Club, AFL, have now got a professional gaming team.
Oh, really?
Yeah. These guys have nutritionalists. They train with the AFL football players. They're full-time gamers.
Yeah.
Professional. They're professional sports people. Jesus. What a good gig that is.
I don't know. Look, I don't know if we've got anywhere with this podcast, but we're well over time anyway.
All right.
So, I don't know if you achieved what you wanted to achieve with this.
I didn't
well, what's your theory, really quickly?
My theory on
Australian and its sporting obsession.
I think it is a lot to do with Big Brother, and they're trying to constantly outdo somebody else for the wrong reasons. And I believe...
Elaborate on that? I don't understand what you mean.
It's like they just want to be better because they can say they're better. They don't want to be better just to be better. Do you know if that makes any sense?
Yeah.
And I hate the measuring stick of England. It's always measured against England. It's always the biggest thing. The test matches, the rugby, the Ashes. It's all measured against England. And that's no good for the psyche of Australia.
Don't know.
So, you know, and there's way too much money in it. There's way too much.
I'd agree. But that's the thing. Is any industry will perpetuate itself with money.
It's like the football, the soccer, the numbers getting thrown around are absolutely ludicrous. There's a player on sale at the moment going from one club to another for £222 million.
But America has the same shit. You know how out here, I'll probably go on over time, but you know how out here you'll have, you know, a sports person or an ex-sports person. I remember watching fucking, who was Tubby Taylor. You know, he's still doing ads on TV for bloody air conditioners and shit like
still
that.
Does.
You know, and blah, 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 what's his name? The Newcastle Knights guy.
Paul Harrigan does NIB.
Yeah, Paul Harrigan. And all those guys, you know, they've been off playing sport for how long? Well, years. And they're still getting offered for advertising
gigs.
And shit. So, and the same thing happens in America. Don't tell me that basketball players and American football players and stuff like that don't get, you know, those types of ads thrown at them. Because, well, obviously, something that they say or having them on the screen sells their product.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it? If you're asking me what it is, I'm fucked if I know.
Well, I don't know either. We've got nowhere. How the hell did we end up here? Go on then.
All right, I think we better pull it up there. We're at an hour and 10. So, yeah, want to sign off?
All right. Well, don't you like thing? What would you like? And
Okay. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to subscribe to our channel, that's sort of growing slowly, but yeah, we're getting there. So give us a like as well. Subscribe. There's also a little notification thing down there, like a little bell. Click on that as well, and that'll let you know when our next video is uploaded. And if you feel free to
if you feel
leave
free.
it. If you feel free, I feel free.
Freely.
No, just leave us a comment if you feel like it, and we might get back to you.
Well, we may not. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'm sorry Murray knows nothing about sport. I did know this. I was trying to engage him in a conversation about Australian psyche, but we never got there in the end. We did get a little bit of sense out of him. That's the first time. Sorry Murray, shut up. And thanks for listening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.